Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where after many weeks, we are ready to produce the final piece of the puzzle to activate our nuclear power plant. Pressure conversion cubes. Because with them, we'll be able to make plutonium fuel rods, thus getting rid of all of the nuclear waste from the prior steps of our nuclear power plant project. Because we already have uranium fuel rods, but if we burn them, they make nuclear waste, and nuclear waste can't be destroyed. So we automated a bunch of other production lines, and then once we have those pressure conversion cubes, we can use the processed uranium to make the plutonium fuel rods, send those to an awesome sink, then safely be able to run all of the uranium fuel rod power plants. And this last little cube was a little difficult because it required fuse modular frames, and that's like a bit of a whole thing. 15,000 iron ingots, a bunch of oil, all that jazz. And now today, all we need are 3 more production chains. We need crystal oscillators, circuit boards, radio control units, and then finally just a handful, like 100, assemblers for the cubes. And after weeks and weeks and weeks, today we'll finally be able to automate them. So let's start with the easiest project first and go from there. And we will be starting with circuit boards. We need about 500-ish of them per minute, 550 actually. And we're gonna be using a very weird recipe that uses silica and copper sheets called the silicon circuit board. And we already have all the copper sheets. And last time we got all of the silica using this cool dissolved silica alternate recipe chain. So with all those materials, we just have to bring them to some place to build. This is where I'm a little bit more concerned. Last time we went around making like 150 refineries, and at this point, the base is getting a little busy. Like, it is huge, but it's a little cramped in here. However, we can move things around, and this is gonna be perfect. I would prefer there was a pathway here, but we are starved for room. This might be one of the last places around where we can actually build. Because like every corner, again, is refineries. And then I've been a little busy these past couple months, so the rest of the area ain't looking too hot either. So no matter how convenient or inconvenient, this is what we got. And with this project, we needed the 550, right? So how many of these machines do we have to build? 550 divided by 12.5? That's gonna be a big number, isn't it? That's not a big number. I can work with that. Well, along our journey, we invented this chunk blueprint. I usually used it for encased industrial beams, but my gosh, it's being useful. It is a giant blueprint with 24 assemblers in it. It is very convenient, except for the fact it is too tall for most of my base here. So we're going to have to sink it into the floor a little bit. Hello, truck stations. Goodbye, truck stations. As cool as it would be to have an open roof, aesthetics are kind of going out the window right now. This is the final boss, the end of the line, and I want my cubes. Holy, this blueprint though is nuts. I like the game just a little bit, but my gosh, is it convenient. Now we have to build 2 of them. So come with me, friend. Holy, survive! Oh my gosh. Everything's fine, no need to worry. Just gotta set her down gently, let her rip, and replace a couple of those tiles down there. But that'll be fine. That is 48 assemblers. So then just when we go into the corners here, set the recipes, copy and paste them, and send a couple on 50% clock speed. And that will work. Now then, we need the inputs. The silica is upstairs though. The floor above? Well. Yes, it is. These 2 belts will be silica. But right now, to keep the silica operation working, we have to sink everything, or else fluids will back up and it'll shut the project down. Or vehicles will get deadlocked. Excuse me? It's the trucks. The trucks have decided to be creative lately. We'll leave them to their business. Right now, silica stuff. One thing I've realized is we have to keep the silica moving always. If there's a stall in the system and this whole thing pauses, essentially our nuclear power plant will then pause. And that cannot happen. So the silica must always flow. In that case, we need a permanent solution for those awesome sinks. And I see a blank wall in front of me. Right now, that thing is worth $1 million. So I have 2 sinks sitting right there. We'll bring the silica just out and around. And at this stage, we will have an overflow smart splitter ready to send the excess material into the abyss. What a nice solution to such a simple problem. So with that moved, everything will be fine with our whole distilled silica setup, and we are able to bring the material to where it needs to be. So I just continued it down the line here, up and over and into one of the pits beneath, so we could go down a whole floor into our chunk blueprints, which I have fully set up and balanced a little bit to get going. The deal is, I want both of these to run at the same rate. So 22 running here, 22 running there. So what this is a 2-to-2 balancer. Takes 2 random belts and balances the output to be 2 equal outputs, which can be very convenient when systems might be unstable. As for the copper sheets though, well, these are kind of everywhere. Last time, yeah, again, we were putting down a lot of refineries, but the copper sheets were located in just one area in particular. Down through here, up over this way, through the north wall, down into this zone by the trucks. You know what? No walls. And right over to here. At least this is most of them. All 1,209 get balanced out here. We got it, we're good. System is connected, and our first task is complete. Wonderful. Circuit boards, Dunskies. Now for the difficult stuff. See, we need like 55 crystal oscillators per minute, and the manufacturers aren't that good. We are going to be using the recipe we've used in every single playthrough, which uses a little bit of rhubarb, AI limiters, and of course quartz crystals to make the insulated crystal oscillators. But each manufacturer only makes 1.875, so you can do the math, and it can tell you that that's gonna be a lot of manufacturers. And did I mention we didn't have a lot of space? Yeah, no, we don't got a lot of space, which means we're gonna have to pull out the emergency measures. We're going to have to go uppies. See, my initial plan was to have all of the pressure conversion cube stuff done below this power control floor here. This is kind of like where I run around usually, going over to my hypertube cannon room, or I'm gonna have my portal room around here, and our main power augmenter. It'd be nice if this was like the cutting off point between like the old tech and the new tech that would be upstairs. But unfortunately, we are just radically out of space. So let's see what we have available. This is a lot of space. Okay, we are probably gonna use this area. Then there's some space over that way, but that area is going to be for my factory of factories. Once we get the nuclear power plant online, we're going to upgrade the space elevator, and then we are going to automate all the materials we need for Mark 6 belts, automate power shards, and all that kind of jazz. So that space is gonna kind of look like this space. Maybe upstairs, there's a little bit more room in like a little corner somewhere, please? Where's upstairs? I'm upstairs. Oh, wait a second, is this the immediate next floor? Hold up, ring ring, hello? Oh, I see. This could work very, very well. We could stack the manufacturers up through here, and then what's above here? Oh gosh, the end of time. Okay, we do not go up there, that's too scary. But we might just be able to make this work. This area for crystal oscillators, that area for the radio control units, and then we'll figure out what to do with the cubes. But for now, let's try this out. So again, we needed about 30 manufacturers for this project to work, right? Let's see if we can measure the space out. So one manufacturer, sitting pretty down here, is equal to, let's say, 3 foundations, or 12 meters. Okay, well, how many foundations of height do we have? There's 10. There is 17 divided by 3. It's gonna be about 5. We're gonna have to leave room underneath because we have to remember the belt work too, even if we wanted to stack these up. But this should be okay. Let's say we can stack 5 here. It's looking like 5 would work. Then if we had 5 there, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Perfect. If we stacked everything, we could fit all 30 manufacturers we need off in this little corner. Just have to move some belts and stuff. It also means we're gonna have a row of manufacturers up front here for the next stage of making the radio control units. But you know what? Who cares about that? For the radio control units, what is the recipe for them? I think we're using the control system one. Check my notes, and we are. I'll have the circuit boards, aluminum casing we did last time, Rubar we automated eons ago, and yeah, we still need those crystal oscillators. And because each manufacturer makes a decent amount of control units, we shouldn't have to build as many manufacturers for the entire project. Except I was wrong. We need almost 200 of them. So that means we need another 37 manufacturers. You know what? That's bad. Well, we can fit 15 in a row here probably. And then could we fit the rest over that way? Real talk, we don't even have a choice, so that will have to work. We have 37 power shards left in the world. Yes, I collected every single power slug in the world and used all the power shards now. So we're relying on lizard doggos. But they've kept me steady, so maybe I'll just have to wait a little bit, but essentially I will make this work. So let's just focus up on this area. These belts, I don't know what they're doing, but they're gonna be doing something somewhere else. And then we have some blueprints that will make this project a lot easier. It is a lifted manufacturer, and I'm thinking we could modify it so the splitters down here, instead of just going to one machine, we could have another machine above it. Let's make some blueprints. Pretty much we'll have one blueprint that is just the splitters in the first manufacturer, and then, I don't know, let's just build it. The problem is, I don't know what can fit in this blueprint maker. Although it is big, manufacturers are really big too. So let's see. We'll place this right in the middle to get her started. Get rid of the excess material that we don't need. Along the back, we can have vertical mergers to deal with the outputs as well. Can we just get 2 at least in this one blueprint? Oh yes, we can. So that will go there then. What is with the stilts? I will fix that, don't worry. And then that will connect up well. Okay, we're not gonna do this. I'm just kind of testing this out to make sure this all works out. Like everything's on the right heights. We can put this in and it actually lines up. It does. Perfect. For now, that's good for our first blueprint. And you know, maybe even our second, because we could have those manufacturers just up in the air. And then could we just fit one more manufacturer down here? Oh, it doesn't fit? Come on. Oh, that's all we needed to do. Whatever. You can always just save something as a temporary blueprint, get rid of some of the excess parts, and then shimmy it on up exactly to where it was before, so I can't place that thing down here. Ah! But at the end of the day, it'll be fine. Which it is. So we'll have to stack the 2 blueprints on top of each other and then do the belt work ourselves. I also added in some beams, because having just the random machines stacked up upon each other didn't look very good. In fact, having this weird void underneath also isn't the best, but we'll probably just be keeping that. Sometimes it is what it is. All right, move out of the way, old blueprint. New friend coming through. It's this one, an expandable version of the stacked manufacturers, and then the big 3 to expand on this system. All right, now it's just a bit of spacing and making sure that I don't goof. It'd be nice if we could have a tile on the right here and on the left for excess belt work. Like, we have a lot of material that's gonna be going through here, and it looks like we have enough space. Each manufacturer really only needs 3 tiles, right? And we have 10. That's not good. So 3 is one manufacturer, another 3 is the other, and it's looking like we only really get away with half a tile on each side, or a full tile on one side. And I think I'm gonna go with that option instead. Let's move this right into here, make sure it's all nice and aligned. Looks good. Scoot the next one on in next door. And wait, why is this a full tile out and why is the spacing working so well? I don't know, I don't care. I am so excited to get the pressure conversion cubes automated today. I'm just moving as fast as I can here. Look at that, a full tile in between all machines though? Wow, living in luxury. Okay, now we stack. If I hold Alt, are we pretty? we're not there yet, but we're pretty much good. Then we just scoot down a little bit. A little skedaddle. This is a little dangerous. Is this all lined up properly? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna call that pretty good. And it's just that easy. Do the same thing again. We'll scoot down, nudge up. Good. Hold, nudge down. There we go. Whole wall of 15 manufacturers sitting pretty. God, I love stacking manufacturers. It's my favorite. Look at them go. Now for its mirrored set. Now I really have to have a tile in the middle here. We're gonna have to build all of those vertical splitters and mergers, right? That's gonna need some space. Also, aesthetics, right? Rule of cool, always on deck. Looks aligned, good. Place it, send it, looking good. And the last set, fantastic. Hopefully one tile is enough space. Actually, that's gonna be beautiful. No matter what we do, we're gonna be able to have like a walkway going through some of the machines. Ooh, look glorious. I love being able to hold this in blueprint mode. It's so easy to build en masse. I've built systems like this in the past, actually. Specifically for crystal oscillators as well, called beast systems. And they all look just like this. But let me tell you, this is the fastest we've ever thrown one together. Maybe it's all the experience, right? But no, that is 30 manufacturers built in a few minutes. Now just for the inputs. So this will go all the way, oh, it doesn't reach all the way up. No, my dreams. Okay, things were going pretty well. We're due for a bit of a hiccup. Gotta make the story interesting, right? Right. Easy solution though. We'll just have these floor holes here. This will go all the way up. Connect A to B, no problem. Then this will go into the floor hole. That annoys me greatly. This will go right into the floor hole. We can continue the pattern up. No problem. It even connects up to the old belt we set. Now are the heights aligned properly? We have this there, looks good. This here, looks good. Actually does connect. It does, but I don't know if you guys are seeing this as well, but there's like a little dip in the belt there. I will delete everything and change that, don't you worry. I don't know why that happened. But the main thing is, I'm testing the proof of concept. Like this will work just fine. Oh, that's now really weird. So this is at the same height, but up above, it's at a different height. That is extremely weird and worrying. I love the vertical lifts and splitters and mergers and whatever, but they do have quirks. Hopefully this is not one of those quirks. I don't know. The main thing is, this should be fine. I will expand this system out through all 30 manufacturers, and then we'll just have to go on our shopping trip for the items. But I don't know what to say. I put all the belts together and stuff like that, and then they connected differently when I set them up. Like some of these actually just connected straight from here to the machines, and then sometimes I had to put a belt in between. I don't know. Main thing is everything's flat, looking good. Oh, and like it's all connected now. Wow, fancy, fancy, isn't it? Look at all those beeps. Like I was saying earlier, we have this nice little walking path that goes through all of the machines. We can actually see what's happening on them. We can see the items. Got rid of the floor down there, so it looks like it's just one big belt going all the way up. And I'm very happy with it. Then I even went ahead and started building the next set of machines. Just the same thing over and over again, right? This time though, not you, for my new friend, the radio control systems. We'll get to these after. I just wanted them in place for now. So we got the 2, 3, and a couple more over this way. Let's focus on the main boss right now. Getting this system online. Did I connect the belts up over here? I did. So outputs are scooting on through and down over this way. The nice thing about this system, at least, is since each manufacturer doesn't make a lot, we don't need to bring in like dozens of different belts for all of the machines. I was able to bring everything in via one 780 belt each. So we got the quartz crystals, the rubar, and the AI limiters. The crystals are just from our distilled silica project last time, because to start the whole thing, you use raw quartz and nitric acid to make quartz crystals and then silica as well. So it's very convenient. Then we just whipped together those chunks earlier, and they've been running just fine. And the rubar, well, yeah, we've had the rubar available for a very, very, very long time. All in preparation for this single project. Thank you, past Kibs. You're a hero and a scholar. Or you will be if this actually does work. I don't know though. I really don't trust the vertical splitters and mergers. They're quirky, but everything connected. There's no reason it shouldn't work. And so far, it is. Okay, great. So everything overflows down through all of the splitters down this way, loops on around, and is mirrored on the other side. And then everything just goes uppies. The oscillators will end up over here. I'll just put together a quick ol' Binarinsky temporarily, just to see how things go. And then let's check all the machines, if you don't mind, because I don't trust them. Good, weird. Might be an overflow thing. Why doesn't this machine have any items? Getting real nervous now. Yep, whoa. A classic past Kib's mistake, just not putting in the splitters. Okay, you know, honestly, I like seeing problems like this. Sometimes some problems take a long time to actually reconfigure and fix. When I just simply miss a couple splitters, it's a nice sigh of relief. Just throw those in, they connect up just fine. Everybody's happy. Yes, there's items in there. Items over here, and where are my items up here? Oh no. Ah! Okay, we have a problem. Why are the items from down here not going beyond the floor hole? Okay, yeah, you know how I was saying I don't mind small problems? Yeah, big problems kinda do mind. Here's the deal. I can delete this and try to reconnect a lift from A to B, but I'm pretty sure I can't do that. But I have to try and attempt the fix, because clearly just looking at this any longer won't actually change things. So, please connect. Okay, cool. Very cool. I don't know why this is broken, and I don't know how to fix it. So the problem is, right, is we have to bring this all the way the top manufacturer, but the conveyor lift doesn't go all the way. And clearly, splitting up the conveyor lift with the floor hole is causing the problem. Like, all the items stop at this floor hole. It is the problem. So how are we gonna bring a lift all the way to the top without using the floor hole trick? Well, one really bad option is we'd have to bring all the items from the overflow all the way up onto the ceiling, then have the splitters go down through the rest of the machines and meet in the middle. That would look hideous, and that'd also take an extra hour and a half-ish. How else can we change this? We could try the exact same thing again and hope it just works the second time. It could honestly just be how I placed things. Like, maybe I placed things in the wrong order. I messed around with the vertical splitters and mergers a lot when they first came out, and I found that sometimes if you place them just in a different order, they behave differently. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how, just is what it is. Let's try this out. We bring this to here, right? Then we'll bring this all the way up to the top. Do the items move through? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Then what if we start building the splitters at the bottom? Splitter 1 in, works just fine. Splitter 2 in, works just fine. Yes. And now splitter 3. Oh, first the floor hole's too high. 1 second. Oh, wait a second. That's probably it. That's probably the whole issue. It's the floor hole. The floor hole is in the wrong location. I think it just needs more space, because maybe the game is not able to like process the belt being this short. I think it might actually be something like that. Wait a second then. So maybe a mix of both things. Like, we spread out the floor holes a bit better. Then I also focus on the order of operations. So starting at the bottom and then working our way up. We already know the first two are gonna work. That'll be fine. Now will this continue to work? That actually is like even less space. Maybe I goofed. I don't know. Okay, apparently it's working now. Maybe it's just an order thing then. Because yeah, that conveyor lift down there, that is small. But things are moving through. So I guess it's just the order I built things. Maybe I don't know, maybe I built from the top down. Main thing is, all of this just has to go. Sucks. But both myself and a lot of members of the community know that the vertical mergers and splitters have a character, so I'm sure this will be addressed in the future. The big thing is, I was able to fix everything. It didn't actually take that long, and things are running smoothly. Look at all those oscillators. Wow, wow, wow. 100% numbers, good. Machines, running. And best of all, it's aesthetically pleasing. I'd actually have been really upset if we had to do like the bring all the items to the ceiling and down. That, no. No, this is great. And now we have our crystal oscillators, meaning we just need the radio control units, and it's pressure conversion cube time. Ooh, wow. These things though, they're gonna be a bit of a thing. They need more items. Specifically, they need thousands of casings and thousands of rubber per minute. And like I said, we already have all of the material. FastKibs handled it. However, that means we still have a lot of belt work to do. It's gonna be several belts of both the casings and all of the rubar, and spacing's a whole problem. It's only 4 for the casings, that's good. All these casings are being used for the radio control units. It's about 5,000 aluminum-ish. So we'll send that out here. A big item elevator. Okay, please actually be a way through. We need to get to all the manufacturers. Yes! Okay, whew. Everything is fine. One of the reasons why I wanted to keep a lot of the materials for the pressure conversion cube stuff down that way is because we have our whole main room right behind here, right? And it blocks off a lot of the through lanes for our base. But apparently we dodge everything. We can just bring all of the rubar and casings to here, scoot on through, and hopefully everything will work out just fine. I suppose we should focus up on building the manufacturers next. So we needed 37 of them, but we already got a lot done over here. Just to recount, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so you're telling me we only need 27? Oh, we can fit 27 in here. I have a third eye, okay? A third eye for manufacturer blueprint spacing. And in here, I'm pretty sure we can fit 24, and then we'll probably have to do some overclocking. So let's see, 2, 4, 6. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna have like a tile on the left. We have the whole front area for extra belt work. We need a tile in the middle to deal with all of the lifts. That is 12 right there. We're gonna have a huge middle space then maybe. So let's go right to the other end. 2, 4, 6, a tile. I'm just trying to get like a rough guesstimate. That's 12. Wait a second. Wait. No, that's 24. Okay, and then we just have this weird amount of space in the middle. And I guess that's how we're gonna have to split the items up. Again, it's thousands of casings and rubar. So we can't just have one belt snake through all the manufacturers like we did with the crystal oscillators. No, it's gonna be a bit more involved, which sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited for this. We have the space for it, luckily, right here. I can make anything happen. My goodness, using vertical space for belt work is a dream come true. Something I wish I had done more in my previous playthroughs. But then again, we didn't have as much technology back in the day. So for now, 12 times 90, that's the big number. Can we fit all of that onto a 780 belt? Ugh, no we can't. That's going to have to be a Mark 6 belt. All throughout my world, I've been pretending that we have Mark 6 belts when we don't. It's probably gonna be the death of us. But we call that a future Kibs problem. Right now, look, it's an arrow pointing us in the direction of victory. We are going to have all the splitters in here. And then since we have all the space in the middle, we'll have splitters down this way. Move the items through both sides. Because besides the casings, the circuit boards, the oscillators, that can all be done on one belt. Easy peasy. The rubar, 45 actually. It's 540. Okay, so 540 here, 540 there. Not as big of a problem. Anyway, the oscillators would go through there, split up, scoot over. Is this belt not long enough? Are you for real? Are you for real? Are you for... Look, I used a lot of my sanity points already fixing that lift issue before. I just want this to be done. I want my cubes. Anyway, one item will go through here. Overflow out the wazoo. Mini lift will work right here, right? Praise be mini lift. That will overflow through all of that. Enough spacing for this. Totally connects for real, believe it. And then this one. Oh, this goes down here. All right. No problem at all. Beside it looking hideous. I think I'll space this out a little bit better because we have so much room. Generally, it's not going to be a whole complicated mess. The mess is going to be bringing the items over and dealing with the balancing work. Let's just keep the hard project in mind as we get through the simple stuff. So spacing has been redone. It looks a lot better. Down through the middle here, the splitters have been reorganized because remember, some of these items only need one belt, like the circuit boards and oscillators. So they'll go into here, and that's split to more splitters. It overflows through all 24 machines, and it'll be fine. The couple manufacturers that we stuck over this way, they're gonna be the residual machines. When we're done balancing this whole system out, kind of all the excess stuff will just overflow to this, and the numbers have to work because of the production rates from previous steps. But back to this area, got the duct tape out and put the rest of this all together and figured out what to do with the center here. Just have these sloped belts looking all fancy like. Inputs out through here. Output will come through the middle and end up on some kind of platform or something here. Depends on how crazy the belt work ends up getting. But with the output, we just use the mergers that go vertical to go onto the ceiling, and they all merge together onto one belt. It's only 165 radio control units, it's nothing crazy. And the wrangling will be crazy. Again, we gotta get thousands of aluminum casings. And then as for the rhubarb might not be a whole thing. What's going on upstairs? We're gonna have to like siphon some off of this supply chain here. But I think I already did that earlier. I did. Past Gibbs, what was the situation over there? Oh, a sign. 383.66 down that way. 216.34 free. I'm gonna guess that equals 600. I don't think this is a 600 belt though. I think this is a 780 belt. Actually, wait. Logically, it has to be a 780 belt because look at all the items here. If this is 600 per minute, this wouldn't be working like this. And also, that little gap in the belt confirms my suspicions. Yeah, these are all 780 belts. Because with the balancing I did down this way, it's an overflow system. And because we're using 780 belts to make 780 belts, what will happen is there'll always be a stutter every so often. So this is another Mark 6 belt will fix it kind of problem. For now though, all the rubber in the world, of which we need 1,648. So that's gonna be 2 belts and change. 2 belts and 88 to be specific. And then yeah, like all of the casings. You'll come up this way and off to the races. Oh brother, that was some mighty wrangling we had there. Put all the belts all together and we are ready to distribute. So everything ends up going right into this wall and we just have to make it all balanced out into all of these. How do we do that? Well, let's focus up on the aluminum first. Most of these belts are 900 items per minute, and one of them is 540 items per minute. This is why I wrote things down. Oh, it's 596. So that's gonna be that belt. Okay, that belt is 596. What we'll do is knowing that this 24 set here and that 24 set there means 1080, we'll split some of the items off of here, send them onto these 2 belts, and then combine the residual of the 596 with the other 900, and that will go to the last couple manufacturers over this way. Logically, it makes sense. In practice, how do you set that up? Great question. Let's just do the classics. Set up a smart splitter, get some mergers, you go to A, and over to B, and then set the front. Well, actually, wait. I was gonna say set the front to overflow, but technically speaking, we just have to have a splitter here. Again, like logically, everything should balance itself out, right? Yeah, no, that's fine. So you go to here, you go to there. The 596, you just scoot on this way, and then you go on your merry way out to the last couple machines over there. I'm not used to things being simple. It can't be this easy. I'm missing something, right? Past Kibbs, what were your shenanigans? Is this gonna distribute to the left and right. Ah, okay. That's how I distributed the 24. I did the bottom 12 and then the top 12 as 2 independent systems. That was kind of clever, actually. Good job, me. Thanks, me. So where does the other belt of aluminum go? It has to go up above to here, to there, to here. Ah, the mystery has been solved. A to B, aluminum Dunskies. Next, Rubar. You seem difficult. We're gonna deal with the easier stuff first. Hey, you, circuit boards. Scoot on down there, friend. We have places to be. You're gonna go down to here because it looks like we're gonna need a little bit of space. And all we need that to do is to split between 2 belts. No, it just has to overflow over 1. Yeah, which one? This goes into a splitter and it splits between the top and the bottom set. Yes, okay, so you, 1 splitter, good sir. From A to B, D, C, D. That's what we need to do, right? But now that introduces a couple other problems. We need this now to go this way. How? You know what? Just to throw an extra wrench in the problem, I also want this to go over top of here. Why? Because it'd be aesthetically pleasing, but mentally exhausting. Let's consider some options. Does this splitter actually need to be down here specifically? Absolutely not. We have a lot of space. We could just set this to straight belt build mode, have that there, and we could just have the splitter over here. Then we could go, oh my gosh, yes, we could go over to here. That's the right height. Hold up, cooking. Head on down beneath this platform. There's nothing in our way. There's nothing stopping us. We're free. Yippee. Okay, great, great, great. This belt over here, it's the same diff. We just need that to follow along over this way. So we need to get it through the pandemonium, which won't be a problem at all. We have plenty of space. That will go to here. This will go there. Maybe I fibbed. This might be a little difficult. We need this to duck and weave through everything. And it totally clips there. Dang it. Just with 1 belt, we have all this vertical space, right? For any reason, we could just go up the wall and go over. Gibbs, why don't you do that right now? That's exactly what we're gonna do. Just head that way, make it look better, go up and over, and that will be fine. We'll concern ourselves with it a bit later. The Rubar. Are these both 780 belts? They are not. One of them is residue from that other production line that we saw earlier that I thought was a 600 belt. So the one on the right is 88 per minute. It seems fine. And I'm about to make it super unfine. Okay, so I've been building all of this pretending that we have the Mark 6 belts, right? And those can handle 1,200 items per minute. So technically speaking, if we brought these 3 belts up to this 3-to-3 balancer, it would work as a bit of an overflow where we could then bring these items back down into these 24 manufacturers. And then the last belt up top would be balanced out because this is a 3-to-3 balancer. And then we could just send it over this way. And, you know, like, it technically would work. I'm a little hesitant with this though, because before we have the 1200 belts, this is not gonna work really at all. And then after this project is done, we're gonna be running the nuclear power plant. And a system like this is a giant red flag for future Kibs to fix, because this idea can work and it's right in place already, and that's what we're gonna do. Don't worry though, I got a plan. I'll leave future Kibs a sign. Ah, isn't it beautiful? See, everything's gonna be fine. Whole system looks great, it works, and I spruced up this area a little bit once I actually figured out a solution so that it looks pretty as well. Wow, wow, wow. My favorite change though was we have the output that's gonna go down the middle here, right? Well, I brought it up onto this platform that I forced in here, put in a little item counter and a bin. So now we have everything go into the bin for the next phase. We have the item counter that we can keep reviewing. It all looks fantastic. It really does. I'm quite impressed. The last part of the whole party is just to get the AI not limiters into here, crystal oscillators. My mind is cooked. There's been a lot of items that I've been trying to keep track of, and I'm going crazy. I just want my cubes, all right? Let's get the cubes. Second to last stage. Click, clack, there go. The oscillators split up to go upstairs into the system there. Downstairs here, it's relatively simple. Just like the oscillator setup, everything goes up vertically to here. We didn't even have to worry about the floor hole stuff because we didn't build that last 5th manufacturer up top. So the system is working just fine. Control units are ready to go. Over this way. Belt work is good. Oscillators being distributed. No goofy problems here, right? No, this is set up relatively traditionally. No vertical mergers or splitters here. This splitty boy is organized in a delightful way. Get our control units automated. Wonderful. And in no time, items anywhere. Probably they'll start from over here first. The radio control units from over this way, they're actually gonna go up here, go through this way, scoot into this. This is just a concrete pillar attached to a wall hole there. It's a nice little trick I saw on the Satisfactory Reddit where somebody just like nudged a wall over, put the wall down temporarily, put the conveyor wall hole in, and then nudged over a concrete pillar that was painted black, and it ends up looking like this cool little tube. They just put like a beam on top for extra aesthetics, but really all you need is this, in my opinion. Anyway, well, that's where those radio control units will go, and now we should have some in the bin. 78 per minute, but I want more. Where are my hot plates? There are my hot plates. Look at them go. I'm going to make so many. It's like a classic hot plate food. I don't know, scrambled eggs, whatever. I'm gonna make so many pressure conversion cubes with you little guys. Let's go into the bin, brother. It's time. It's cube time. Destiny awaits. All we gotta do is make a couple assemblers for the mighty cubes. And how many assemblers do we need? Lots. But we have the fuse modular frames, we have our radio control units, and because we're making so many radio control units, we're gonna be able to make, what's the math on that? 82.4 pressure conversion cubes per minute. That's a lot of cubes. But it also means we need 82.4 assemblers to be built. And the space situation is kind of over. The battle, oh my gosh, I'm pretty cooked on that front. This was kind of it. This was the last of the space. I don't know where any more would be. Literally, I'm looking at this right here, and I'm thinking of using this space. Oh my gosh, though. Wait, we are out of options, okay? Just humor me on this. Part of me just really doesn't want this to work, but I already know it will. Oh, we totally could do this. We need almost 100 assemblers. We have space right here above the train tracks if we subdivide the floor. I have no other option. We have to do this. All of the assemblers are gonna be built right in here. Okay, item-wise then, we already have the radio control units right next door. Then downstairs, we have our fused modular frames. But how far downstairs do we have to go? They are on the floor with this blender. That's not too bad. One little lifterinski and we're good. Oh my gosh though. But if we activate the pressure conversion cube assemblers, that means all of these machines are gonna boot up again. That means all of that will boot up again. That means our whole world will be activated. And our power situation is not good. We are on the brink of disaster. Turning on a system like this with a power grid like that? We have to do it. I've come this far, and there ain't nothing stopping me now, brother. It's ride or die at this point. High likelihood on the die front. Okay, so let's build out the floor, just all the way across. Why not? We're gonna need the space. We can't really overclock things. Power shard situation will not handle this amount of machines. Then I've gone ahead and prepped a pressure conversion cube system. This is just like our quick wire system where we have a bunch of, what are they called? Assemblers that are pre-set up with belts, except I've made some modifications where now we've left some belts at the beginning and end. So when we set up the first batch, we can go and switch this into Blueprint Auto Connect. Connects there, the belts connect, and there we go. Easy peasy. No more belt work required. Just connecting the power from A to B, and we're good. That is already 16 assemblers built. And I guess, again, one of the nice things too is that we are done with like the heavy production lines. The pressure conversion cubes, they need like 1 fused modular frame per machine and 2 radio control units. So we'll get the 2 belts ready, bring them up here, and overflow them over there. I suppose a lot of this project is going to come down to aesthetics. We'll have the walkway going over this way. We'll have 1 more system right next door, and then we'll have a lot of space over to the left. So I suppose I could just space out these assemblers a little bit better, and then have a ton of storage for the pressure conversion cubes somewhere over there. Okay, it doesn't seem too bad, and I want to get this system all built as fast as possible because the power is not going to last very long. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go fastly. In fact, Kibs, I've had enough. It's time. Hit it with a boop. And what a glorious boop it has been. Because we had so much space, I was able to leave some air gaps in here. I have 2 buffer bins just down here sitting with all the items. And look at the belt work I managed. So because of the pathway I wanted to include through here, I couldn't just stack up the belts on the right or else they'd ruin all the aesthetics. So what ended up happening is the outputs go through this way and are on the main platform. And then I did the overflow set up beside the platform underneath this walkway. So there's 1 lift that goes over to the left and another lift that goes over towards the right and over top of the walkway we built over here. Now, we are going to add in more like pillar supports and all that kind of jazz later on, but general design concept wise, this is perfect. It's perfect. It's everything I wanted it to be, except for the location. It's a pretty monumental project, and it's kind of just haphazardly thrown somewhere. But also, we didn't have any other options, so it is what it is. The big thing is we can activate the system right here, right now. We have to activate it pretty quick here because I don't know when the power is going to blow out on us. But for at least for a couple minutes, we will see our first pressure conversion cube assemblers maybe come to life. Why isn't that loading with material? I don't know. There are some problems. What the heck? Maybe this is a really bad omen. Oh, how is there a freaking radio control unit in there? Hey, buddy. What were you doing hiding in the splitter? What a goofball. Okay, apparently I misbelted some items at some point. So I just have to take some of these out. Allows the other stuff to be loaded in. System's fine. At least I don't have to dismantle anything. It also should mean these other systems are running. It's gonna be a very, very slow startup, but a startup nonetheless. I can't believe this. It has been, I don't want to know how long, a very long time to get these pressure conversion cubes automated. But this is it. We've done it. We should be seeing a couple on the, that's my cube. Get back here, friend. Goes off into bulk storage. I just wanted to fill up some of the space, so I built a lot of the tiny bins. And at the end of the line, we have our tiny little cubes. Our pressure conversion cubes. The last piece of our nuclear puzzle and the gateway part to the rest of the game. But how are systems faring? That's more so the bigger question. The power grid could not survive barely with nothing running, and now we're running up on 100,000 megawatts. Our production, woefully behind. Okay, got about 3 hours-ish of battery life. From testing I've done earlier, this number is way too high. And in fact, we probably only have like 2 hours of real battery life available. The good news, I've been a little proactive, and with my extra Sommers loops, I built an extra alien power augmenter over there. It is plugged in, by the way, it's just a visual glitch from this distance. But yeah, extra augmenter, sitting pretty down there. But even with it running, the grid screams out in pain. Like, this is it, the whole enchilada. And even worse, this consumption number is only gonna go up as our stockpiles of supplies run low and more machines actually have to boot up properly. So the game plan for the time being is to build up as many pressure conversion cubes as we can while we have battery stores available. Shut all the systems down, and then next time, figure out how to boot up our nuclear power plant. Because with all of this online, power will never be an issue again. However, that will be all for now. So if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. And until then, have a fantastic rest of your day. And bye-bye.